last but not least, you will be done with section 1. This is part 3. So, in part 2, we did discuss the scientific method in a lot more depth, okay? Again, if there's any more questions on that, I'm going to be kind of touching on that again in one of the live sessions, so I want to make sure that everyone is clear on each of those components of the scientific method. The last thing we're going to cover, this will be super short and sweet. We're just going to talk about the characteristics of life. So there's a couple of quick pages in your lesson about this, and they're all pretty self-explanatory, but really they do make up life, and it's kind of cool to think about that. So when we talk about the characteristics of life, sorry, I'm having a hard time saying that word. What I mean is life, ... Life is characterized by the presence of all of the 7 of the following properties at some stage in an organism's life. So it doesn't necessarily mean that all of those characteristics of life are present right then and there. Okay, just take for instance when I talk about reproduction. Obviously, when you just give birth to a baby, that baby's not going to instantly reproduce. There are some species that obviously have the capability of doing that, but not all life forms undergo these at the same time. So, but at some point in their lives, they do go through each of these. You have cellular structure and function, reproduction, homeostasis, which is a big one. We'll talk about that in a little bit more depth, but homeostasis is basically maintaining this equilibrium within your body or within a living organism. It doesn't have to be just the human body. But anytime, say, there's disease or cancer or sickness, that means your body is out of homeostasis, and likewise with other life forms. Interdependence, adaptation and evolution, heredity, and metabolism. Okay, so these are the 7 characteristics of life. I want you guys to read a little bit more about those in your lesson, okay? And I also have a lovely video to show you. So make sure you guys understand each of these and watch this.
What does it mean to be alive? These are the characteristics of life.
करता है जिंदगी की हर कहानी लिखता है
All living things share the same basic properties. First, living things are made up of cells. In some cases, the entire organism is made up of one single cell. These are called unicellular organisms, like this amoeba, for example. In a multicellular organism, the organism has many cells, each cell with a specific function. Next, all living organisms must be able to reproduce, or produce new organisms of the same type. These plants reproduce asexually, a single parent organism reproducing itself. Other animals reproduce sexually, where 2 different parent organisms contribute genetic information. Next, all living things must obtain and use energy. This can be an anabolic process, like when plants take energy from the sun, or catabolic, in which complex substances are broken down through digestion. Next, all organisms must maintain homeostasis, a stable body condition that is necessary for life. Homeostasis regulates your body temperature, blood volume, and water balance. All organisms pass on hereditary traits. Genes carry hereditary information. Genes are composed of DNA. All living things respond to their environment. They may be affected by light, temperature, odor, sound, or heat. Finally, living things grow and develop.
Who knows what that kid was even eating. Okay, before we call it good, I want to go back real quick, not to the video, but I thought that was a great video to actually discuss each of these. There are slightly different names. Metabolism was basically the ability to use, obtain energy to kind of fuel your body. Okay, so that's metabolism. Let's see. Adaptation and evolution was kind of response to your environment and how do you adapt to the different climates, the different temperatures, the different senses, all those different things. The cool thing about what we're talking about right now is you are going to see that we are going to talk about all of these, this entire block. Okay, so this first semester of biology, we really deal a lot with each of these different characteristics of life. So you're going to see that all come into play. But even second semester, because hopefully you guys will be with me again next semester, but you'll see that this again ties in with all of biology, or the 7 characteristics of life. So there you have it. I hope you have a good handle on everything in section 1. What I would like you guys to do is, if you have read through the lesson and you've watched this and you still have questions on certain things, please write your questions down and come to any of the live Class Connect sessions. I have plenty of them, Tuesday and Thursday at 1:30, and then possibly Wednesday evenings if daytimes don't work for some of you guys, maybe due to work, kids, whatever it might be. I want to try and be available as much as possible. But please come with questions, and I'll also be going over different labs and assignments. I will make it worth your while because I want you guys to come and actually be productive. But also it's a good chance to just kind of connect and meet and talk. So there you have it. Thanks for your time. I'm glad you guys are watching these. Hopefully they do you some good. All right. Peace out.